Governor Steve Bullock hosted a press call earlier today to provide an update on the now 6 individual cases of novel coronavirus in Montana. According to the governor, the 4 patients who had tested positive coming into today are in their homes in isolation recovering. The 2 new cases were announced after the press conference was held. That news came in around 6 p.m. as MTN learned that both patients are Missoula County residents, one a female in her 30s and the other a male in his 50s. According to a press release from Governor Bullock's office, the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services and the Missoula City County Health Department are following up to learn more details about the 2 individuals' exposure risk, travel history, and to identify and communicate with anyone who may have been in close contact with the patients. According to a separate press release from the Montana University School System, one of Montana's positive tests belongs to Clayton Christian, the Commissioner of Higher Education for the school system. As for the original 4 cases, we now know where the patients made contact with the virus. The Gallatin County male in his 40s and the Yellowstone County female in her 50s caught the virus on international travel. The Silverbow County and Broadwater County males in their 50s both caught the virus while in Washington state.
More than anything, when we look at both the contagion and its spread, that we've got to take care of our legacy Montanans, our older Montanans, at each and every step.
The state says it currently has the capacity to use about 850 lab tests on individuals who may be showing symptoms of the virus. They expect the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to provide more in the coming weeks. While there are still no reported cases in Cascade County, health officials are preparing for a possible case. Today, MTN's Lindsay Hyatt attended a press conference where officials discussed their current response to coronavirus and how they plan to deal with future concerns.
Cascade County officials gathered in Great Falls to discuss coronavirus concerns on state, county, and city levels. Tricia Gardner of the Cascade City County Health Department stressed the importance of taking testing seriously.
At this point, we can't test everybody who just wants a test. They are going to be really working within that criteria to determine who is the appropriate person to get tested.
Benefice emergency physician Dr. Bridget Brennan listed the criteria for those who are likely to be tested.
Do you have a fever, cough? Are you short of breath? Do you have these comorbidities? Do you have lung disease, heart disease, that kind of thing? If you do, and you have been exposed to somebody with known COVID-19 or have traveled from a place where the community spread is wide, then we are likely to test you.
Despite public concern, Dr. Ray Geyer of the Great Falls Clinic explained that most coronavirus cases are not high risk.
About 80% of people that have symptoms is nothing more than what we would call a common cold. So some nasal symptoms, nasal discharge, a sore throat, maybe some cough.
About 20% of cases could result in pneumonia, and only a small fraction of that percentage of cases could lead to death. Dr. Brennan agreed, saying many infected people don't even need medical treatment.
Those people do not necessarily need to be seen by any physician or any practitioner. They can be treated at home, over-the-counter pain relievers, over-the-counter cough medicines, rest, stay home if you're ill, please wash your hands.
Mayor Bob Kelly said community members need to help themselves and each other during this time.
So finally, take care of yourselves, but also take care of each other.
In Great Falls, Lindsay Hyatt, MTN News.
As we mentioned earlier in the show, one of those Montana residents who tested positive lives in Gallatin County. We send it now to MTN's Gabby Crevitt in Bozeman, who has the latest details about how they are doing at home and how they contracted the virus.
There is one confirmed case of coronavirus or COVID-19 in Gallatin County. And earlier this afternoon, the Gallatin City County Health Department held a press conference with the latest details.
One reported case is in Gallatin County. According to the Gallatin City County Health Department, the individual is a male and in his 40s, currently recovering at home. The individual was tested on Thursday and results came back Friday evening. Health Officer Matt Kelly said on Saturday in a press conference that the individual had returned from a trip to Europe on Wednesday evening, but did not specify where. The health department reported the individual and his family acted responsibly and isolated themselves from the public, which Kelly says is critical.
The diligence of the individual and his family in staying home while symptomatic prevented exposure to the public. The individual's brief time spent in Montana and conscientious efforts to stay at home has resulted in no identified local close contacts of concern related to this case. There's no indication the individual or his family had contact with any sensitive places, such as long-term care facilities or large public gatherings.
The individual and his family continue to self-quarantine. An investigation will continue for those who may have been in contact with the individual during travel.
The state health department will work with airlines, identify individuals who are within a certain radius of the family when they flew in.
As of right now, the Gallatin City County Health Department has not issued any specific guidance about group sizes or canceling of events. But Kelly praised some of the action already taken by the community.
There are a lot of event organizers who are taking some really responsible actions in either postponing or canceling their events.
And we will continue to keep you updated on all the developing news regarding COVID-19 in Gallatin County. But for now, reporting in Bozeman, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
And of course, we'll also continue to keep you updated on those 6 cases as we wait to hear if they are confirmed or not by the CDC and on any new positive cases that arise in the coming days. Well, the snow is beginning to taper off here in central Montana, and Jason Laird is in the Weather Center now with a look at what we can expect this evening.
Well, hey, Matt, yeah, a lot of that snow finally starting to move out. We had a heavy band here earlier this evening make its way through the capital, but really the core of it's going to continue to track off to the north and east. Check out some of the snow accumulation. This is as of this afternoon. That's the last report we got from the National Weather Service. Stanford hitting about 14 inches. Again, we're a little bit more than this now. Great Falls as of this afternoon sitting at about 9.5 inches. Helena just over 7 as well. So you notice really the heavier stuff right now in the terms of snow making its way into northeastern Montana. Still some lingering flurries in and around Lewistown. Very cold temperatures. Check out Great Falls, 2 below right now, 1 below in the capital. A whopping 1 degree in Lewistown. So quite chilly there this evening. As for that future track, we'll continue to see those flurries track into northeastern Montana. That's going to be the best area for a little bit more accumulation. We'll have more on this system and where it's going to be headed and how your Sunday's shaping up very shortly. Matt?
All right, thanks, Jason. We have a couple more updates for you on what changes some businesses and organizations are making in response to the spread of COVID-19. Alluvian Health expanded their hours for this weekend. They will open at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning and remain open until 3 p.m. They're encouraging people to call with any questions regarding their hours or their services. The Cascade County Detention Center has suspended inmate visitation protocols until further notice, according to a Facebook post by the Sheriff's Office last night. In a press release this afternoon, Northwestern Energy announced that they will be voluntarily suspending disconnection for non-payment for customers in Montana, and they encourage any customers with questions to call 888-467-2669 with questions. Yesterday, the Great Falls Fire Rescue announced that they would be canceling any and all public education and training. That includes CPR classes and car seat installation checks. Lastly, the list of Western Art Week events that have been postponed continues to grow. Here's a look at that. That list now includes the following: the Out West Art Show, the Great Western Living and Design Show, the Western Heritage Artist Footprint on the Trail Show, the Jay Conway and Friends Art Show, and continuing, the Wild Bunch Art Show, the Missouri Falls Fine Art Show and Sale, the Studio 706 Art Show, and all of the events at the C.M. Russell Museum, who were the first to postpone their events earlier this week. MTN spoke with the marketing director of the Western Heritage Art Show, Hope Good, who says she feels like the community is coming together.
We've all been close, but in the last week, I have talked to more people from different shows than on a normal basis because we are all talking to each other, and we all do want to come together. I mean, like I said, Art Week is a community.
You can check out our website for a running list of canceled and postponed shows. 3 more new updates for you as well. The Rocky Boy Reservation declared a state of emergency this evening and announced that schools in that district will be closed until at least March 27th. Box Elder Public Schools also passed an indefinite school closure during an emergency school board meeting earlier today. Lastly, the Helena Civic Center will be closed and postponing all events until further notice.
by the Montana Television Network. The 10 o'clock news continues on Montana's News Leader.
Welcome back. While we focus on the impacts of COVID-19 that are being felt in Montana, one thing that's key to understanding this virus is keeping track of how it's impacting both people across America and the world. There were hundreds more cases of coronavirus infections reported in the U.S. today, bringing the count to nearly 2,800, while the death toll has risen to 58. Michael George with CBS News has more from New York.
France and Spain have joined Italy in announcing nationwide lockdowns. The Spanish Prime Minister's wife is the latest high-profile patient to test positive for coronavirus.
Thank you very much.
President Trump was also tested for coronavirus, and the White House says it was negative. Saturday, he made the decision to expand his European travel ban to include the UK and Ireland.
These restrictions bar travel for certain foreign nationals who have been present in the UK or Ireland in the past 14 days. And again, that goes effective midnight Monday.
Vice President Pence wouldn't rule out the possibility of a domestic travel ban here.
We're considering a broad range of measures, but no decisions have been made yet.
The Trump administration is calling on Americans to educate themselves to slow the spread.
If we are complacent, selfish, uninformed, if we spread fear and distrust and misinformation, this situation will last longer and more people will be hurt.
Millions of Americans are already staying home from work and school, and grocery store shelves have been wiped out as people stock up their pantries.
Even if it proves that it was unnecessary, it's still prudent.
The Trump administration says it's doing what it can to make coronavirus test kits more readily available to help identify people already infected. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
The House of Representatives passed a bill with bipartisan support Saturday that would make coronavirus testing free for Americans, including the uninsured. The Senate will take up the bill this upcoming week. Scammers are taking advantage of the coronavirus fears. Attorney General Tim Fox is warning Montanans to be wary of circulating scams. The Attorney General said Montanans should be, quote, cautious of bogus claims for products to prevent or cure coronavirus. The FTC and FDA have jointly issued warning letters to 7 sellers of unapproved products, claiming they can treat or prevent coronavirus. There is no approved vaccine for the coronavirus right now. Fox also cautions Montanans about investment scams, which are important to keep in mind in light of the falling stock market. Although there are no confirmed cases in Lewis and Clark County yet, multiple Helena churches are taking steps to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. The Helena United Methodist Ministries are canceling all in-person meetings until the end of March. According to a Facebook post, they are encouraging visitors to tune in to their live stream. First Assembly of God is also encouraging live streaming and is asking elderly parishioners, say that 5 times fast, to stay home. Catholic Diocese of Helena said in a press release that day masses will be available throughout the week and encourage visitors to attend Mass on a weekday to spread out the number of people in the building at once. They've also canceled all scheduled retreats. People are encouraged to reach out to their church directly to find out if any other precautions are being taken. Lewis and Clark Sheriff's Office was recognized on Thursday for their commitment to public safety when responding to 2019's wildfires. The Tri-County Fire Safe Working Group presented the organization with the Dave Larson Memorial Firefighter Safety Before Suppression Award, honoring their work in evacuating hundreds of homes threatened by the North Hills and Horsefly fires. Wolf Creek Fire Chief Rocky and Fanger praised the Sheriff's Department for their dedication to public safety and partnership with fire departments. Sheriff Leo Dutton says it's an honor to receive the award, and really it represents the needed partnership between law enforcement and fire. Now that relationship has improved over the past decade.
An all call, a lot of deputies, reserve and regular, are out there, and sometimes even search and rescue is out helping manning roadblocks. So we've improved our relationship with the Forest Service, DNRC, rural fire, career fire, all of those kind of things, and the people who benefit are the citizens.
Well, up next in your weather forecast, still a few lingering flurries throughout central Montana, but kind of the brunt of our system is heading up to the north and the east. We'll track that, let you know how cold it's going to get tonight, and take a look at Sunday and this next work week next.
Now, here's your Storm Tracker weather forecast with Jason Laird.
Well, again, hopefully you had a chance to dig out all the winter weather, clothes, shovels, gloves, you name it. It's been a little bit chilly. Heading up to Sunburst right now. It looks like a lot of the snow is finally kind of tapering off in that area, but significant accumulations there as we head into Lewistown. Still tracking some pretty decent flurries right now. Lewistown's kind of right on the edge of that batch of moisture making its way throughout central Montana. Haze. Snowing sideways there right now with a little bit of wind. Monarch, we did have some pretty heavy snow here within the last half hour. That looks to have pretty much tapered off. Nothing really reflecting off of the lights. Okay, so with that said, we do still have a winter storm warning for pretty much all of north central Montana. As you notice, the National Weather Service has backed off on a little bit of that, but really for the most part, still pretty decent snow expected, especially into northeastern Montana. Very cold temperatures and poor travel as some wind continues into that region. So right now we're sitting at 4 below in Great Falls, 1 below in the capital. Again, that heavier moisture starting to make its way through Lewistown and continuing to track up to the north and the east here. We're going to continue to see that heavier snow make its way up into northeastern Montana here tonight, becoming a little bit more widespread, probably around midnight or so, and then kind of losing a little bit of strength by Sunday morning. Can't rule out a few little light flurries, though, even here in central Montana overnight, and you really notice on the temperature contour where that cold Arctic air is planted this evening. 8 below tonight in Great Falls, looking at 4 below in the capital. Very, very cold in Cutbank. Those of you taking care of calving operations right now, it's not going to be fun for you, unfortunately, so just keep that in mind with newborn livestock. As for tomorrow, well, warming up a little bit. 10 degrees in Great Falls, 10 into Cutbank, about 14 along the High Line. Still not terrible there into northeastern Montana at about 29 degrees in Glasgow. As for snow accumulation through Sunday, we still do have the possibility of catching maybe up to an inch as a couple weak little flurries continue here tonight into tomorrow morning. But really, for the most part, a good chunk of that snow is going to stay into northeastern Montana here over the next couple of hours and into Sunday. So to kind of break this system down a little bit more long term here, we're up to Sunday morning now. And the whole reason we had all this snow is a big area of low pressure off of the coast. That's kind of our moisture feed. And as that area of low pressure moves inland, what it's kind of done is put a big dip in the jet stream. It's allowed for that cold Arctic air to settle in. Now, the thing to remember, this area of low pressure is going to continue to track south, more impacting the desert southwest area, which might bring a little bit of rain there, but we're going to stay mostly dry, at least for the first half of the week. Potentially could see a little bit of moisture try to return back to Montana Wednesday, Thursday, as this area of low pressure lifts up a little bit. As it lifts up and kind of loses some strength, it will still have the possibility of pulling a little bit of moisture our way. So again, Wednesday, Thursday, can't rule out a couple of flurries there. Right now, I'm kind of keeping it more dry, but we'll monitor that very closely. And with that Arctic air staying in place, temperatures are going to remain a little bit chilly here even this next week. So tonight in Great Falls, we are going to be looking at a few light flurries continuing throughout the area. Some of those continuing into Sunday morning as well. 8 degrees below zero tonight. Some wind out of the northwest, only about 5 to 8 miles per hour. Next 7 days in Great Falls look like this. Lingering flurries here on your Sunday. Then again, getting a little bit more mild, but still staying way below average pretty much all week long. Can't rule out flurries maybe Wednesday night into Thursday, keeping a very close eye on that. As for tonight here in the capital, looking at about 4 below. With a couple of light flurries throughout the area. We're looking at some wind out of the north-northwest at about 6 to 8 miles per hour. Next 7 days in the capital, looking at 18 degrees. Some light flurries throughout the area. More sun, though, as we head into this next week, but still staying way below zero. Isaiah?
Thanks, Jason. Well, it's been a strange week in the world, and sports in Montana are no exception, as high school basketball came to a close a day early last night.